Yo, good morning, everybody. It's approximately 10:02 a.m. where I'm at. This is gonna go up tomorrow anyway at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's gonna be the afternoon, but whatever. Don't mind the wet hair. I look like I should be the lead singer of an emo rock group. Cause tonight will be the night that I'll. All right, enough of that. Anyways, today we're recording a New York drill tutorial. So you know what that means. We gotta get the proper attire. This is gonna be the craziest transition you've ever seen in your entire life. You ready? Anyways, yeah, so we got the proper attire going, for the New York drill scene. Some of y'all were saying my mic was backwards in the last video. You were right. Never disrespect me like that again, though. Anyways, let's get into the fucking beat. Okay, so originally I started this off. I wanted this to sound like some club shit. So I actually started with the strings first on this. These strings you don't really hear that often in this beat. They're very quiet in the mix. But the tempo is sitting at 147. I know I didn't fix the face cam again. Just trust me. Just trust me. So yeah, the first thing I used was the staccato string from Expand. Right, just a very, very basic repeating melody. The next thing I added was more of like a top counter layer. Again, I'm pretty sure using either staccato or pizzy strings out of Expand. Right, you get the gist. Nothing too crazy. The very next thing I added was some strings for like a bass, and it's just the same root note playing over and over. Right, you get the gist. And the key of this beat's in B minor. The next thing I added, I'm pretty sure this is a gated bell that I like to do in a lot of my drill and club beats, and I can show you how once I get into the mixing, because that's really what I'm focused on in this video is the mixing and the drums. The melodies for these types of beats are pretty simple for the most part. There are a lot of different components sometimes, but it's normally like 2 to 3 sounds. I kind of have extra string layers for more background, but I can kind of get into that later. But this is a gated bell that I have on in the beat. Right, and then the next thing I have is a filtered piano. Again, I'll get into how I did this because it doesn't originally sound like this with the effects. So this is what the piano sounds like. Because, again, I think the effects are very important for something like this. And then the last thing I have is just a bass note, a piano bass note. Nothing too crazy. Just repeating. And that's the other thing about drills. It's very repetitive. The melody is very repetitive, and the drums is where it gets really crazy, and they have a lot of different effects, especially with the 808s and sometimes Jersey switch-ups, which I actually did in this beat. So, excuse me, on to the drums. So one of the first things I added was this hi-hat counter snare pattern. And the reason it's kind of layered like this and a little bit off time, I used a MIDI kit that actually did this, and I started utilizing it more and more in my beats. I like how the hi-hat sounds darker and it sounds a little bit more full like this. So this is what the hi-hats actually, yeah, this is what the hi-hats sound like. Right. Very kind of simple repeating. I forgot to play the full melody on its own too for you guys, so I'm gonna do that now. That's kind of my bad. Just so you know, I'm valid in the New York drill streets for melody at least. The drums are ass. Let me tell you. Right, and then it just repeats because all the melodies are very, very repeating. So anyways, the next thing I added after the hi-hat was I added this snare. Very basic. The thing with drill is the second and the fourth are normally not on time. They're normally not on this 2 note where they would be. They're pushed back one for some reason. I don't know who the bozo that came up with that was, but anyways, I'm joking. Please don't kill me. Very basic drill snare pattern. Right. Nothing too crazy. And so one of the next things I added before we get into the 808s was I added this crash and then the kick. And I like to do this in every single one of my drill beats, Chicago drill beats, glow beats, whatever, because they have it in a lot of Chicago drill, and they do have it in a few newer drill songs that I've heard, but I just like it, and I feel like it adds a little extra bounce. So the next thing I added, I'm pretty sure the kick pretty much repeats Oh no, there's 3 different kick patterns. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play 2 of them because I'm pretty sure the third one's like the exact same with like 1 kick missing. So you'll get the gist. And that's the other thing about drill beats is a lot of the time the kicks are very simple and the 808s are going crazy. Sometimes it can be vice versa. Yeah, one of the kicks is club kick, which I'm not going to play that. I'll play it in a minute. And so the second one is pretty much the same without some of the repeating notes. All right, so now on to the fun part, the 808s. So it's all on the bass note B. And so what I like to do in drill is the way you make slide notes is you like drag an 808 note up, right? Double click on it and you click this little triangle button, or you can click this little triangle button up here, this one, and then place a note down and then it'll automatically slide. The longer you have the note out, the longer it'll slide, and the longer it takes to slide. So that's why I have these really short slides, because in most New York drill, it's very, very short slides. They don't really have them like the longer kind anymore on like the Brooklyn scene like they used to for Pop Smoke and things like that. They used to do it. They used to have the longer slides way back in the day. They have it in UK drill still. They used to do it in the Brooklyn scene, and now the slides are very short and hitting. So the first pattern sounds like this. And so what they like to do in a lot of these beats, which I kind of figured, is they go down the scale to get that like iconic kind of drill slides. They go down the scale of whatever it is by using, let me put it on the scale so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So B minor. So they start normally with like the top chord and then go down to like these 2 diminished chords right here. 2 diminished notes, whatever they're called. I don't know. And they normally go down the scale, and again, they do the same thing up here. They don't normally like to use these like middle notes right here that are up here too. Sorry about that if that was hurting your ears, whatever. They don't normally use those. To get that darker sound, they use the 2 notes that are closer together for the slides. Again, I did a very similar pattern over here. I'm not going to play the whole 808 pattern. I'll just play the slides because the rest of the 808 pattern is the exact same. I didn't change anything. And then the very last thing I added was just this, but pitched up an octave. And that sounds like this, right? And, you know, so all of that so far put together sounds like this. And so the next thing I added was just different perk loops and effects. I'll kind of include the Jersey switch up in that because you don't have to do that in your drill beats. I do it because it sounds cool. You don't have to do it in any of them. It doesn't really matter. So I added these fills from I think it's Hussein. I don't know. Please don't kill me. I added it from one of his kits that I found in one of my drum folders. It sounds like this. And then the next thing I added was this breath loop that's in a lot of Jersey kits. And then I added a gun cock. And then I pretty much just cycled all of these over into the club scene and the club section. Club is very simple. It's pretty much just this first bar repeating. You can add rolls and shit into it. I personally don't. And what they like to do is they also like to pitch the 808s up an octave because it sounds crazy, I guess. I don't know. It adds cool bounce to it. And these fills, like I said, are nice transitions into the drill, like the going from drill to club. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, so the switch up sounds like this. Right, you get the point. Okay, so on to the mixing. The only few things I want to touch on with the mixing is the bell and the main piano melody that you hear. The rest of it is all very standard leveling and all that. I didn't do anything too crazy outside the mix, but the piano and the bell is what I really want to touch on if I can find it. So I think this is the bell. Yeah. So it's just a standard Purity tubular bell, and so what I added, it was just very simple gross beat, and I did the 1 beat gate to give it that kind of effect. I don't know why. I think it sounds crazy. And then for the main piano lead, this is what it sounds like. So with no effects, this is what it sounds like. Right? Very simple. So what I did is I EQ'd the shit out of it. I boosted the highs, and then I made it so it sounds very filtered. So without these, very filtered alone, it sounds like this. And then I boosted the highs so it gets a little louder. Right? And then for the gross beat, I just went to turntablist for the presets, and then I did scratch pattern 2. Didn't change anything. It just sounds like that, which sounds really cool. Right, sounds really cool. Like I said, the rest is just very basic leveling and mixing. I didn't do anything too crazy. The 808 just has some different EQs and limiters. Let's see what else. Anything else I really want to go over? Not really. The rest of these are like mixing presets and just like EQs and shit I did. Nothing too crazy. So this is what the full beat sounds like. I know it was kind of rushed. I've been busy all week with school, and I'm just trying to get videos out on time. The next one will be better, I promise. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. This is the full beat. Again, let me know if y'all fuck with it. Anyways, that's all for the video. If you're interested in purchasing it, follow my Instagram. May or may not throw it up on screen if I'm feeling lazy. So hope y'all enjoyed. And again, I will let you know, new tutorial dropping hopefully every Saturday. I will catch y'all.